Oh boy. I am coming in now. Let's go. I'm ready. All right. Got a few things to say. Good morning. Number one, Mr. Mustang Shaky, John, Joanne, RD, Florian, Richard, and Shaky. Well, Shaky twice. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, we're going to take a look at the new schedule together. So we can plan out, you know, what are we thinking? We're going to go up here on Forex Factory in a second. We'll take a little look. No news this week apart from politics. Oh, gosh. Those weeks can be either, I mean, it feels very 50-50. When there's a no news week, it's like, are they going to consolidate all week, or is it going to have strange low volume movements, or we'll see. There we go. Audio has returned. Everybody out there right now, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the world. Wherever you are, I hope you're doing well. If you all could just give me a thumbs up or a 1 in the chat real quick, let me know you can hear me on this beautiful Monday morning. We're going to get going here. We got one that says 1, which means that you all can probably hear me. Here we go. Disclaimer. This is not financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education, informational purposes only, without an express supply warranty of any kind, including words of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. I think that's a record for how fast I said that. Cool. Let's get rid of that. We're going to take a look at the news schedule real quick. Make sure you all can see this. Holy cow. All right, yeah, Monday. No news Monday. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we've got some other countries' news going on. No U.S. news. Looks like we do have some. Oh, this is yikes. All right, so it's not FOMC necessarily, but it's the minutes, and we have that on Wednesday. Thursday, we do have U.S. news on Thursday. Unemployment, flash, manufacturing. And then we also have news on Friday. That guy's speaking. Okay. All right, so front half of the week, Shaky, you're absolutely right. Front half of the week is looking a little lackluster as far as news goes. Back half of the week, lots of news. Maybe we're going to see some moves showing up. All right, let's go to the charts here. Right, NASDAQ, let's zoom out. I want to start over. I've deleted all my annotations from last week. We're going to start over here. I'm going to zoom out. It looks like we had the breakout week 1 down. Howdy. Good night. We had a breakout week 1 down 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Then we broke back up to the upside last week. Did it close in breakout? Oh my gosh. There we go. We can use the little space bar. Fantastic. Not even space, the shift key. All right, we did break out. It did not break out and close. We did close above this week's high, but I'm going to use this one as that is the highest point the market has traveled. We broke out. Didn't quite close any higher. All right, that is just a general reference. I don't need that information necessarily. I'm going to skip those ads for you all. However, what I do want to see is these last few days, what has been happening. We had a first red day on Wednesday, so let's get all these annotated since I have been tending to not annotate for you all. And then we had the lower low on Thursday. Which led to a Friday trend trade down towards the previous day's low. Phenomenal. And then we also had a lower low on Friday. Okay, we're not breaking out and closing, but we are going a bit lower. Okay. However, these are all failed breakouts, which is unfortunate. We have breakout that failed, so 2 days of shorts triggered into the market. And then now we're looking at today. However, this is also we're making lower lows, and we are making lower highs as well. You can just see that by the previous day's levels. Okay, so if I wanted to take the trade today on the NASDAQ, what would I do? What would I have to do? I could look for a session trade. 3 days of shorts triggered into the market. If they trigger it in today, maybe I can look for a session trade if it presents. It's 9:22. It's kind of late for them to start doing certain things. However, we do have a nice consolidation at the low of the day. That could mean something. Maybe not. All right. I don't know if I'm particularly jumping out of my chair for this one, though. We don't have a strong signal day. First red, lower low, lower low. So maybe just trend. I think that would be the only setup that I would possibly or potentially be capable of taking. But look at this. They came off the high of the day. 1, 2, 3 into the low. Consolidation at the low. Let's go on. US 30. All right. We had breakout day 1, breakout day 2, breakout day 3 on Thursday. Do I have that listed? No. I really should make one, huh? Let's do that now. We had 3 days of breakouts on Thursday. Yeah. Do this. We'll add this one here. We'll save that one. All right, and then after 3 days of breakouts, we have now received on Friday a very clean first red day. We have this low in place down here, breakout, first red day, and then now that leads us into today. Already immediately, I think this is probably going to be my best option. However, I'm already seeing something else that kind of scares me, so we'll take a look at that. But we've had the first red day. We had a day that opened, attempted to go higher, failed, closed underneath not only that day's open, but also the previous day's close, which is nice to see. Today, we've triggered previous day's low, which is a lower low on the inside of the previous week's range, which is a part of the template. And now we have pumped it up off the low of the day. And that's where we're at now. Okay, they broke out, made the lower low. Notice this huge 1, 2, 3 down. Once they broke back up above, I've got to see, at minimum, I want to see that guy make money. I already can tell that's something that I need to be waiting for and watching for, which is essentially or basically the closing price. I'm good with this. I like this a lot. I think there's a lot of potential here. It just needs to play out a certain way. All right, type 1 if you all agree. Do you all agree what I'm saying is what you all saw, or do you feel like maybe this is this reaching? Can you explain that, please, Shaky? So on the third day of breakouts here, they had a day that opened, tried to go up, closed, and ended up closing underneath the open for the day at the high of the current week as well, which is a first red day. And then now today, they've triggered the previous day's low, which could be a lower low on the inside of the previous week's range because the low of the week was down here, the high of the week was up here. So maybe we're looking to go back towards the low of the week, going back for the money. We've pumped it back up. They had the big 1, 2, 3 down. So we might have volume trapped under P2, which is this bar here. So I'd like to see them at least start closing below the closing price again. I think that makes the most sense. Of course, look, I'm not a genie, or not a genie. Whatever, people with a crystal ball, all right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know what's going to happen, but I just know at the very least, based off of these three things, right? A plus B equals C, A, B, and now today's C, we've got some details that tell me to look for a certain thing. So that's certainly what I'm going to be searching for. All right, gold. Gold. Oh my gosh. What is this chicken scratch? What is this typewriter sideways, heartbeat monitor sort of price action? All right. No worries. Let's take a look. We had breakout day one. It looks like on Thursday down, and they triggered the previous or the low of the week actually. And actually, it looks like we had a low inside bar on gold, which was right here. Did not trigger previous day's low or high. Stayed on the inside, and it was a pretty narrow range day. Now today has also triggered both sides, which is unfortunate because that tells me they triggered the low. They put money at the other side. They've got shorts going short, obviously. They went back for the money. They hit the money. So now the only setup that I could possibly look for at this point would be a breakout pullback, maybe a range expansion sort of trade. And with this chicken scratch, this could have been maybe a first green as well. Maybe we had higher high, tries to go lower, first green, break in structure. Maybe this is the higher high. I think the only trade that I would be willing to maybe look for is a strong breakout. So this would be a trend trade based off of potentially a first green. And I would have to take this with the understanding that this is going to be dump, consolidation, inside bar, first green. They've made 1, 2, 3 attempts to go lower. And I would be looking at range expansions of this to go back up, because this was an inside bar. And that would put me basically, I think, pretty much back up at the high. Florian, good. Good. I like it. All right, 1 minute to the open. Holy cow, I need to hurry up. Okay, we had a first red. Okay, breakout, first red. We had breakout, first red on Thursday, which is a lower low. Then they made a second attempt on Friday, which was great. This is a good first red day. They pumped it back up, went sideways, and then big vertical move down to the previous day's low, as it should. It did not close in breakout, which is kind of stinky. But very similar to US 30. This is what I would have to look for based off of what we currently have right meow. Would be first red, lower low, pumped it back up. It did fail to go lower, which is kind of upsetting. I would have to look for the trend trade opportunity to go back down towards the low. Notice that they are putting some pretty big down close bars, so I'd be a little worried about that. They might be trapping shorts right now. Leg 1, or maybe even leg 1, and then leg 2, and then in the last leg of the move, big bars to the low, 1, 2, maybe 3. Maybe we've got traps below P2. Somewhere over here. If they break back up above here, I'd be scared to go short. All right, let's look at oil real quick. Do we have a decent template here, or do I just need to watch US 30 and gold? Okay, oil pumped it back up. We had a first green and immediately a first red. I don't know where my indicator just went. I see. Breakout day 1, first green. And they dump it back down. First red. We make this lower low today. They broke down. It's been in a down moving market. Did we close this sucker in breakout again? We sure did. We closed the week last week in breakout down. Nice. Nice. All right. Only trade I can take, we might have the first green. We're in breakout down on a weekly scale. The trade that's playing out right now could be the trade. So I may have missed it. Whatever. Main focus, US 30. NASDAQ, I don't really know. Russell, I'd be fine with this. Trend trade back down to the low, but it needs to present, which means make everybody want to go long. Let's go back down. Let's start allowing shorts to make money again, and I might be okay with it because we've already broken down for the day. We've started making lower lows and lower highs. So we'll see. Intraday, good to have you here. And then we've got oil. Oil train is chugga chewing. It may have already, we may have already lost this one. Train may have left the station. I don't have gold up. One chart for gold missing. You're 1,000% correct. I don't know what the NASDAQ is doing. I'm not going to put that there. I'm going to put US 30 here. I'm going to put gold here. And that's just what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to take a sip of coffee so I can wake up. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a good day. I can feel it. Maybe not for trading, but just in general. Got to keep the positivity, flowing. Can you get my other screen set up here as well? Okay, we got the other screen setting up. Gold. Dump it back down into the low. Would you consider GU or EU a first green? It's an inside bar, but yes. Technically, yes. No. 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 The low of the week was all the way down here. You had a first red day. They attempted to go higher high of week, 3 peaks, lower low. And you had a day that pumped back up. Could just be a pullback potentially, right? Inside bar could be a pullback. First red into potentially a pullback. I'd be looking at this low. And I'd be looking for signs of continuation if it were to present that way. EU. Yeah, this is the same thing. No, I wouldn't consider that a first green because it didn't happen. We had a first green back over here. And then a breakout day over here. And then you basically had a first red breakout day 1 to go back down. And then they pumped it back up into the high without going any higher. So no, I would not consider that first green. Hopefully that clears it up for you. Everything's looking kind of choppy, if I'm being really honest. Yeah, gold did actually break down. We've been making higher highs over here. Started putting in lower highs. They broke down and made a lower low over here. So today, basically, they've whipped both sides. And the only reason I was looking for the long at all was just because of the first green inside bar. And the template in general, right? They made the high. They've tried to go down 3 times. Inside bar, first red or first green. Triggered the low, triggered the high. Could have been a higher high. On the, on a weekly scale or daily scale. I'm going to hold fast to that. Z, good to have you here. Entry scale or entries on the live market. Step 1, structure. Which way is it going? Step 2, does it make a lower low or a higher high? Step 3, understand the market can either go back all the way to the high and make a higher high that then fails, or it can pump up in 3 pushes, make a lower high, and then give follow through if that presents. Look for where volume is trapped and what side of the market is going to make money. So I would look in these legs back to the high, or in this leg to make the lower high above P2 to find the trap volume. Once it starts to follow through and give continuation signals and allow my side of the market to make money, I'll get in. Might be worth looking for a sell on US 30. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for, Shaky. Waiting for it. Was this bar 930? Yeah. Okay, I'm not drawing support and resistance boxes or anything like that. That's not what I'm doing, okay? I am giving you all a visual reference for the way that I am seeing things, which is below here, shorts will be making moolah. So basically, I just want to see them close lower. I'd like to see it close below the previous day's close, and I'd really like to see them close down below here, because over here you can kind of just look at the bars and see if this was a place where they've induced people to take a short. You know, they've induced people to take a position, push 2, maybe push 3. If they start closing bars lower than this, I would say, hey, shorts are making money. I want to make money, so I would take the short as well. Okay, of course, this is all in line with a larger 3-day template. I'm not just guessing which direction it's going to go. The template is telling me which direction to look for it to go, and then I'm just using current price to determine whether or not it's taking place. US 30 valid day 0. Say like peak formation low, peak formation high. Is that what you're referring to? I personally wouldn't. That's not normally the type of day 0 or anything like that I'm looking for. We did have 3 days breakouts in the first red though, and that's all the information that I'm really going to use and need. Look at this. They closed another bar, but they closed it just slightly higher than the other inducements over here. So these guys are still not making money. That bar is really convincing. You know? I mean, it could go down, but I'm going to wait for it to do that first so that I can say objectively that it is. Right now, I would be guessing. I'd be like, oh, yeah, it looks like it's going to go down. Needs to break the red, yeah. Oh, boy, my neck just cracked. That felt amazing. Holy cow. All right. I'm still watching US 30. I still think that, gold, it had potential. It still has potential, but it needs to stop breaking down. We've gone lower. If we get a strong breakout back up, I'd be okay. But that's a big I might be really reaching with that at this point. Or maybe it's a 10 o'clock trade. Maybe it's a 10 o'clock trade. We're in the middle of a range, though. We're coming off the high of the day. Why have I projected this? Oh, this was the range expansion tool. I can get rid of that. Nice. Okay, US 30. Where do I think that shorts, they're making money? I think that maybe like below down over here. That might be a little bit too long to wait to get in, though. So I might, if this is an opening range breakout, first 5 minutes, if we close outside of the opening range to the downside, I might just take that. First 5 minute bar. If we close outside of there, I might be willing to take that. I don't know. Got more than a 50% retracement on this bar. It's kind of scary. $9.43. Gold on 5 minutes. Yeah, I was just watching that, Florian. We had the 1, 2, 3 down. And I've talked about this type of price action before, where they capitulate to a low, and it curls. It goes straight up, and then it goes straight back down. And then when it fails to go any lower, I mean, essentially, what is that going to turn into, right? That's basically what this is turning into is a extended W, right? And we would have an extended W now. But it's not the low of the day, which is kind of a little doo-doo. I don't know if I'm okay with that. Is it maybe to continue the breakout of the previous day's high? Maybe. But it kind of feels like I'm reaching a little bit. It's in the middle of a range. I think it would have to do something extremely dramatic for me to say, oh yeah, this is what I should do. The consolidation on NASDAQ is interesting. Yeah, I'm looking at a 5 minute. They went up, and then now they're coming straight back down. Shake, if you're watching the NASDAQ, I would say, if I was watching this, I would say, oh, well, that's a pretty big down close bar, but it just closed higher than those other down close bars, which were also fairly large. You see what I mean? We had a really big down close bars that continued to go up. And every time they come back down, it just goes up a little bit higher. Oh, the Russell, full recovery. Jeez. That would have been a very frustrating stop out for somebody who was looking at this and wasn't willing to be patient and shorted this bar, because let's all just be real honest with each other. This looks amazing. If I couldn't see this bar here, this looks incredible. This pattern, I've seen this 100 times, where the next bar continues to go lower. But in a lot of cases, it would be like a death candle or a death bar that locks in the longs. All it did, though, was come back down and solidify the trap for the shorts. I would be buying, in more retail terms, I would be buying at support or selling at support, which is kind of backwards, right? Beautiful. Now, I'm not in this because that's not the setup that I was looking for. But you know what? This was a good read. I'm happy with that in general. Deciding, having the discipline to see this and not take the trade just because, oh, well, that looks great, I'm going to take that, and then just get slayed on the next bar. How big is that? Oh my gosh. That's a pretty big bar too. Can you please rate my trade? See, the only problem with that is it's about your own performance, right? It's you versus you. Which trade did you take? I didn't see a day zero on US 30, so it might be a misidentification. Parallel ascending channel. I think you're still talking about US 30. So you're saying that you think that it's peak formation high, peak formation low. And ascending. I don't see the day zero, though. That's the only problem. I'm not saying that it can't go up. I'm just saying that I don't see the day zero. I see a market that has given us a first red and a lower low, and I'm waiting for it to break down. And it is also it is a no news Monday, so we might be seeing some weirdness going on, which is, I mean, this is kind of to be expected, right? You have all of you in here, all 70 of you. By the way, please hit the like button on the stream so it helps the stream a little bit. But how many times have we seen this? Even since you and all have been, since we've been trading together these past month or 2 months or however long it's been, I've been doing these live streams. How many times do we get an overnight strong explosive move, either down or up, that results in some sort of trapping consolidation for a reversal? It happens a lot. Or even maybe there's no reversal. Maybe it just stays like this for the entire day. But the big thing to be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't chase. Maybe I should go into it with a different view. Like, yes, I'm still going to look for my setup if it presents, but maybe I really need to pay attention to what they did in the overnight because they could be trapping. You really got to watch for that. I don't want to chase something just because it looked good in the overnight. It's almost kind of the opposite. I want to be overly cautious because they made the move in the overnight or they made the move in the first hour. Extremely valuable information. Whew. Waiting for the 10 a.m. club? 10 a.m. club might be the move for today, honestly. 9:51 at the very least, right? We got to wait for this 5-minute bar to close, see if our setups improve. We're going to skip those ads for you all. Okay, NASDAQ is doing something interesting. Okay, and I think that Yeah, I guess it still could, but we've gone back to the high of the day. This just really is not my... I don't know. I'm going to keep watching it. I made the decision at the beginning of the session to do that. I'll just keep watching it. Although the NASDAQ right now is just absolutely tanking. Back down to the low. Whether or not it breaks out, whether or not it continues, I have no clue, but how did I learn about... I originally learned from Stacey Burke about first red and first green. Come to find out, there's a lot of traders from past and present that also use it, just with slightly different names. Toby Crable, to name one, who is from the 90s. Even George Douglas Taylor in the 3-day cycle describes first red and first green day, but in a different way. Nothing new under the sun. How do they describe it? I'd have to go back and pull up the text, but you can use like ChatGPT or something like that and just ask it. It'll tell you. I don't want to misquote the text, I can't remember it off the top of my head. I still have them up on, what was it? I think, is it this one? Yeah. But you are right, Paulie. I really should get them back up on the screen here. Anything I can ever do for the kingdom, I should be doing it. So I should have those up there. I like that. 5 minutes to the 5 minutes to the new hour. We're gonna see. Now, I don't like that this bar closed a little bit higher than this one, but this one is following through, so that might be okay. I'm gonna get US turdy up on my other screen here. And I do think that I'm gonna wait for the 10 o'clock. We got a lot of room to get back down to the low of the day. I don't want to jump in on a trap. Also, this pin here, they kind of took out the whole ramp. All this ramp volume, the order flow built up. They kind of took it out already. I think for this, I'd like to see it close below here. Realistically, right? Because we do have traps below here. So we got this push down and this push down, this push down. So we might have some people caught down low. We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to. It's kind of just in my first glance. That's kind of how I'm thinking about it. Now for this type of setup, first red day, we do have this level down here. Low of day minus maybe 25 to 50 would be good. Depending on how things are moving. It'd be even better if they give us a little opening range breakout here. Gold continuing to collapse, no setup. I think I need to, I'm not going to say abandon, but I'm probably going to really, it seems like the indexes are what I need to be focusing on. Okay, 10 o'clock is coming. We got 39 seconds left. That is a really big bar. Okay, now we've got 10 o'clock. Now this is a lot of supposed momentum down. Supposed, right? We've got this pin down here. We've got an opening range breakout down. And a potentially down moving market after first red day. If it fails to make a lower low, it's going up. Okay. We need to see follow through. Almost immediate follow through. At this point right now, I'm looking left. We should have longs caught right here. Okay, so let's not let those guys out. I don't want to see these longs get let out. Even this like little breakout, fake out bar right here. I don't want to see these longs get let out. I'm looking at the close of the bars. Okay. Nothing fancy. Nothing crazy. How do you scale into an A plus setup? Depending on what, so like this is a really big bar size, so getting in on a limit for my initial position is more likely. And then I'll sell on momentum follow through. If it continues to follow through and I think that it's going down all the way down to a certain level, I'll scale in on momentum. After that initial limit order, though, I do not scale in on drawdown, if that makes sense. I only will ever scale into momentum. Ooh, that was a big retracement back up. That was a big snap right back up. Interesting. I gotta get hydrated for the gym. Got 15 seconds left on this bar. And they're notice how that they're fiddling around the open, or excuse me, the close of this bar. They're about to close this bar about where this bar closed as well. Loss of momentum, possibly a trap. And then right in the last couple of seconds, they close the bar up, which could be okay. But they would need to be immediate follow through back down. How's everybody doing? What do you want to see on the next US? I want to see follow through. I want to see a break below that. Market has broken down. We've came off of a double top high at the, not necessarily the high of the day, but we've came off the high of the day and made a lower low. We've popped back up. They've made one attempt, two attempts, maybe three. They've broken down, gone sideways, opening range breakout. We need to see follow through now, like on this bar. We really should be seeing some longs giving up, right? So a break below this bar would be momentum to the downside. So we've got about 59 pips to get down to the low. Low of day minus 25 or minus 50 would be a decent trade, but right now, kind of seems reluctant to do that. Seems like it's spending a lot of time trying to push back down through the close or the open of this bar on a 5 minute. They are trying really hard to push down through the close of the bar, and it's just not getting there. Range expansion. I would do low of day minus 50, Jay. Low of day minus 50 or 25. Like I said, it just doesn't seem like it's really wanting to do that. Like I said, it was spending a lot of time down at the close, or I did it again, down at the open. This bar was sitting down here like this, like they were trying to push it lower and it couldn't. And then now we have this immediate retracement back up. Could be a squeeze. We have lows ascending, immediately being taken away. All right, I had a 3-position micro starter on there. I've just scaled out 2 of my contracts. Basically above this little box. Minimizing that loss. There's not doing what I expected. It's not doing what I thought. If need be, I'll scale back in, but I don't want to hold a full, even a full, just 3 micros. I don't want to hold that all the way up here and lose it more than I need to. That's ridiculous. Like I've just lost $40, I think. Oh no. But that's why I always do a starter. Always do a starter. If they give you the middle finger like they've just done here, it won't hurt. I don't have to make crazy, irrational moves to try and make up for anything. It doesn't matter. It's $40. Who cares? You can go look under a vending machine and find $40. There's no reason to be irrational. So what they've done though is they allowed these shorts to make money, but these aren't exactly the biggest down close bars on the chart. These are down over here, and yeah, that's interesting. So look at this. Notice how they came down Oh my gosh, Nipsey. Don't do that. Notice how they've came down twice here and a third time. And when this bar closed, they closed above that. So maybe I was looking at the wrong things as far as, the trap. Maybe I should have been focused a little bit more on not getting in until the biggest down closed bars on the chart, the true trap. This was the true trap, and I misread it a little bit. I thought that this was good enough. Which I followed my plan. I said, this is an opening range. If they close below there, it's a breakout, and I'll get in. And I did. I allowed this bar to come back up. On the retracement, I sold. And then, like I said, I scaled out of my position up over here. No big deal. Yeah, you are right, but the reluctance here to let shorts make money is making me very worried about taking another trade on this. No news Monday. Do I really want to force it? Having a flush, maybe. Again, this is, I don't know. This is just consolidation. They've hit both sides. No news. They can actually just do whatever they want in here. I mean, they could do whatever they want in any of these charts, but I mean, this I'd be even more worried. I got the Russell doing whatever. Basically a breakout, right? Breakout pullback. Look where they... Market is unbelievably intelligent, right? Big down close bar. Very likely that somebody short that bar. And they were holding. Oh, it's going to go. Oh, there it goes. Ah, there it goes. Finally. Oh, no. Okay, I'll just hold on. It'll come back. Oh, thank God it's coming back. Thank God it's coming back. But I'm not in profit yet. I can't make any... Come on, please. Please go down. Please go down. Where's their max pain at? Where's their max pain going to be? Is it up here? I don't know. I do not know. This is a very similar thing, right? They've pinned down. They've pinned up. No news on the calendar. And now we're just holding it in the range. Is it going to be a choppy session? That's really my thoughts right now. Is it going to be a choppy session because they've pinned down, they've pinned up, and now they're holding? Now on the Russell, they pinned down. They pinned up. They closed down, but not lower, which created the range. And then they broke out of the range and pulled back. Very different. Gold continuing to break lower. No reason to go long. Oil, huge capitulation candle. Immediate retracement. 1, 2, pause. 3. This is all on the inside of a 1-bar range after this breakout. Which is also doo-doo. Well, isn't this just a hot pile of steaming garbage? I don't know if I want to do anything with this. Garbage. Anybody in here that's new? Anybody first time being here for this stream? Anybody not? This is their first time coming to the stream? Maybe you're hanging out in the background lurking. Just joined your Discord yesterday. Good stuff, Florian. That's weird. I could have. Maybe it's like a weird like deja vu thing. I swear you've been in here before, but I'm wrong, obviously. Well, good to have you here. Yeah, I think, Florian, it probably goes without saying, when you're a professional at something, like, for example, if I went to, how do I explain this? It's not really that hard to explain, I suppose. I'm not an electrical engineer. So if I went to a job site and an electrical engineer came up to me and started explaining in electrical engineer terms, I'd be staring at him blankly and probably wanting to beat my head against the wall a little bit. Not literally, of course, but for somebody who's been doing it for so long, it's hard to explain it. It's hard to go back to the basics in a lot of ways, and it is for me as well. Sometimes I try to remember that people are not inside of my brain, and I try to go back and think, how did I feel at that stage? What would have made me understand the best? And then that's how I try and do my YouTube videos. I try to. And then I still get comments like, this is too complicated, you're an idiot. And I'm like, oh, well. Tomato, you do you. But I'm glad it's working for you. Glad that you're getting it. Anytime you all watch price make a drive into an extreme and then it immediately goes into consolidation, I mean, you all are probably just chuckling because you just sit here and watch me watch these candles go up and down in a range and just. It's only 10:21. We've got 9 minutes. In 9 minutes, if they have not left this box, if they have not left this range in 9 minutes, I'm gonna dip. Third time, Matthew. Good stuff. Cool. Well, I do these every single day, and it seems like a lot of my people on Discord don't know. Probably because they've silenced my announcements channel, which is fine. And then also, YouTube. I haven't been making as many, or haven't been making long form content lately. Really just because it takes so much time to do the slideshows and stuff, which I shouldn't even complain. It's really not that bad. I think I should do another one here soon. Maybe I'll do one Monday. I'll work on the slideshow throughout this week, and then I'll put it out for Monday. Because there is a setup that I think that I should highlight. It's been showing up a lot lately. It's very rapidly becoming my favorite. Florian. Yeah, I think I'm going to let it. We popped back up. We did that little 1, 2, 3. I'd like to see it close back outside of that first 5 minutes low there. If we can close lower than that, I might get back in with a starter. But right now they've shown so much evidence of trapping shorts that I'm very reluctant to get back in. I'm very reluctant to get back in, especially with anything of size. You know, a 3 micro starter loss is a lot better than getting in with 3 minis or 4 minis or 5. Artie, I appreciate that. You know, I love hearing things like that just because, you know, maybe not as much lately, obviously, because I do these live streams and then I leave the live stream and I go about my day, and I haven't been putting in necessarily an insane amount of time into YouTube lately. But before, when I was consistently making a video every single week, I mean, those slideshows take an eternity. And then to edit and video and all that stuff, I mean, it would take forever. So, and again, I'm not complaining. I loved doing it. It was fun. However, it's nice to see that people, you know, really were getting things from it. People are really getting value from the material, which is awesome. And I don't think that I've ever seen anybody else, you know, they make slideshows and stuff. I've never seen any other trading channel, like in every single video, put the slideshow like link and allow the download and stuff. I think that was, my wife actually came up with that idea when I first started doing it. She said, why don't you just put the link to the slideshows in there? People would probably love that. I was like, yeah. No, I go live every day, Florian. I go live every day. I think I missed a few because I had some, I guess there's a few companies that are trying to put the lines underground, which I knew. They just didn't tell me what day. And then there was a couple days where they just randomly at like 9:15 or something like that. It was 9:14 because I go live every day at 9:15. At 9:14, I was waiting in the room, the little chat room, like ready to go live. And then my internet just went away. I was like, oh. Thanks, I guess. On gold, does it look like... Okay, here we go. So, Matthew, you're asking the wrong question, all right? 3 pushes, extremely subjective. It's a fantastic tool. I love 3 pushes. It helps you find trap volume. It helps you find potential reversal points, especially in like pullbacks and things like that. But before I can associate 3 pushes to anything, I need to think about structure. Right? So I could have 3 legs down. Yes, I agree with you. We could have 3 legs down. We could have like 1 down, like 2 down, and like 3 down. We could even have ending in a 1, 2, 3. But the market's making lower lows and lower highs, and I have to respect that. I have to respect that. It's still making lower lows and lower highs. So 3 pushes there's no relevance to it. Matthew, I hope that makes sense. We have no engulfment back in the other direction. We have no pullback resulting in a lower low that results in a higher high that I can get in on 3 pushes back down to go back up to the high. Like, none of that has shown up. Knight, do I have any plans to put out more study binder material? I'd have to go and make all of it. Which I can certainly do, because I know that people would enjoy that. But I am glad that I thought that was a great idea, putting a pre-recorded webinar on there, because that's the only reason I was doing the webinar and the course, was because some people don't have time to do the webinar. They have a job. They have different time zone. So I thought it was a great way to incorporate both into one. Like, oh, we don't have time to do it in person, so let's do it here. And then I do the live streams here on YouTube. And then I stopped doing the webinar because it was taking up a lot of time for me. You know, it was a whole week basically. And I just wasn't having fun with it anymore. You know, that was the whole point of doing it, was to have fun. Now YouTube, doing this, the live streams, I'm having fun. I love meeting you all, talking with you all. You have, you know, the same people come in here every day. We all hang out. It's fun. How long have you? Dang, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the calendar. We're in 2025. I don't even remember what year I started now. Okay, we had a little 1, 2, 3 pop back up. I'm watching this bar. Like I said, if it closes lower, and I think that, yeah, night, and also like a lot of people, they do complain about, and I get it too. Trust me, I 100% get it. They complain about there's no, when I do the YouTube videos, the long form, there's no live time performance aspect to that. It's very hard to do. But if you sit here with me every single day and trade, it's like, oh, just listen to the commentary. Why am I taking this? Why am I not taking this? Why did this work out? Why didn't it work out? It helps, I think. Stopped out on Russell. Were you trying to go long or short, Mustang? It could shaky. Remember the close of this bar. Where's it going to close? We got 13 seconds left on this bar. Are they going to close it here? Because that would be a higher low. I mean, it can look like it's going to do whatever it wants. But unless we close lower than this bar down here, I don't care. I really don't care. Oh no. Let's get this back up. $10:30, 5 minutes left on this bar. Maybe I'll trade to 11 today. No, I take that back. I'm going to trade till 10:45. Because this looks like there's potential. And I need to wait for it. And for that, I need to run because I'm very hydrated. So I'm coming back less than 2 minutes, not even, probably 30 seconds. I'm sprinting for my life. I'll see y'all in a second. Nice. All right, yeah, US 30 still playing around. Still fiddling. Yeah, that's true. Inside bar first green could have played out in Asia as well. Also, look at how they came out of here. This is cool. Asian session over here. It begins 1900. Big bar down, pause. 2-3. Gone into consolidation. Look where they break back up above. All right. Breaks back up above P2. Interesting. No, I only trade the 12 candle. And a lot of times I'm already done. 10:30. I like to be done. 10:45. The only reason I'm even waiting around a little bit is because of US 30. And if they keep fiddling around much longer, I'm walking away. This is ridiculous. And by ridiculous, we can kind of just say it's to be expected, right? No news Monday. Light news week. We even said it in the beginning. Probably going to, maybe on the backside of the week, there's going to be better trades because the news calendar dictates it could be so. And then to see things rally into a level and then rally back in the other direction, or, capitulate to a level and then rally to a different, it's consolidating. That's all that we're doing. And it's to be expected, I can sit here and complain about it all day, but it just is what it is. Choppy day, yeah. And I might come back later. Maybe they move in the afternoon, 1400. They rally into the afternoon, whatever. I think my eyeballs would fall out of my head if I sat here and watched this until the close of the day. That's why a huge reason why I can't do that. All right, I'm calling it. If this 5-minute bar closes up, I'm out of here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a wonderful day. I'll see you all tomorrow, 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time, ready to go, ready to trade. Better setups to come. Better templates to come. Keeping things really nice and calm and patient. Took one loss today on a 3 micro starter. Whatever. All right, no big deal. See you all tomorrow, 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time, ready to go, ready to trade. Bye-bye.